You're listening to the Grit to Growth podcast. Real talk with real business owners and professionals who built their freedom the hard way and now want more time, money, and impact.
Hello and welcome back to the show, everyone. Today, my guest is Tia Meyer from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Tia is the clinical director at Neighborhood Dental Care, where she helps manage the clinical side of their offices. She's focused on quality, regulatory control, and building strong teams to make sure patients receive excellent care. Tia has a proven track record of developing people, leading teams, and ensuring patients remain the top priority. Tia, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
Let's start kind of with what was your journey into your career and kind of fill in the details on that for us, Tia.
Yeah, so I guess if I had to describe my journey, I'd say it's kind of been built on grit, right? Grounded in faith and really fueled by the people around me. My journey started young. I navigated motherhood at a young age while trying to gain access to education for my career. And really, I feel like that's where my leadership journey started because that sense of responsibility was instilled in me at a young age. But, positivity has always been my compass, and that's what I continue to move forward with is that. And one day at a time, faith gave me strength when I didn't know what tomorrow looked like. And really the people around me, my family, my team, my mentors, have really carried me farther than I could have gone alone.
That's a powerful. So, starting out, what age about are you when you're having kids / are you just starting your career then or dive into that a little more? I think that's powerful.
Yeah, a quick navigation into that. Long story short, I graduated from a small rural school in Winter, South Dakota, and that would have been in 2006. Right after graduation, that following September, I had my daughter, so I was about 18. While everybody else around me, surrounding my classmates and everybody were heading to college, I was learning how to become a mom. And, it's not necessarily the journey I would encourage anybody to take. However, looking back, I wouldn't change one bit of it because it shaped me into who I am today. But regardless, I moved then from small town Winter, South Dakota to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, because I knew I needed to get some education and really just follow my dream of making sure I could show my daughter in the future that we did it. So from there, moved to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, started taking classes on the side. And working at the Buckle. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the Buckle, but it is.
It's been a while, but I remember it.
Yeah. So that's where my leadership journey really started as well. I always say I learned how to sell jeans, and I could sell jeans like they were going out of style. But it also instilled a lot of, responsibility into myself as well, leadership. And so on. So anyways, working that job and, taking classes on the side. And then I ended up seeing a ad for a dental assisting position in South Dakota. And I thought, well, I love smiles. I loved going to the dentist as a patient. Why not? I'm going to apply. And keep in mind, I had no experience. I had nothing, but I could sell jeans, right?
You just give it a shot, see what happens, huh?
Yeah. So I applied and I got a phone call to come in and do an interview. And it was myself and one other girl. And the current people those people that interviewed are my current owners and founders and bosses today. So I've been with them ever since. So in a sense, I got the job and they trained me on the job to become a dental assistant.
So how new was Neighborhood Dental at that time then?
They had been going for about a year is all I believe. So we have.
So you're really kind of on the ground floor of it, huh?
Yeah, we have our overseeing dentist, Dr. Nicholas Schad. And then we also have his brother-in-law, Mike Scott, who's a co-founder. So they both are founded this, and it was their dream. And, I had the opportunity to become part of that with them, which I'm forever grateful for. So they gave me that foot in the door. And I told this the other day at one of our department meetings. I'm going to share it with you too. But, on a commission base at the Buckle. And then I was, selling. So it was a base rate of $4 an hour, and then selling jeans. And I was making pretty good money then, based on the commission. So $14, $15, $16 an hour,
Yeah.
and this job was going to probably start me at about $6 an hour. And at the moment it was like, okay, well, this is a foot in the door. This is where I want to go. Am I going to go backwards, or is this really actually step forward if I just give it everything I've got? And so I did, and got my foot in the door there and started working on the job, and getting trained on the job to become a dental assistant. In that time, Southeast Tech in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, opened up a mentorship kind of program where you work for a dentist, and then you go to class in the evening. So I started doing that. I would work all day, and then I went to class from 6 to 10 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays nights, and I got my dental assisting degree.
Where'd you find the time between motherhood, working, and learning?
I still look back and I think I don't even know how I did this. I really don't. But I keep going back to my one saying that everybody hears me say, and that's one day at a time. I think if I look too far to the future, it became overwhelming. But it was like, hey, one day at a time. It's really what I got to live by, and that's how I got through it. So, and keeping that positive mentality, which was instilled at me at a young age. So, anyways, continued in that journey, and got my official dental assisting degree and became a registered dental assistant. And then continued to work for, my bosses today. And I decided, I'm going to apply to the University of South Dakota for dental hygiene school. I want to continue to further myself. Something is telling me to keep going. And I did this, and I didn't tell them I was applying, and they know this. And I applied because I didn't think then I would really get in. So it wasn't worth just telling them yet.
Yeah.
And sure enough, went home to my apartment and got a letter in the mail over my lunch break, and I was accepted to the University of South Dakota and for dental hygiene school. So this was great, but now I had to try to figure out, okay, how do I tell them?
Yep.
These people that let me have a foot in the door. Well, I ended up telling them. They were so supportive of my journey. They said, all we ask is that you find somebody to replace you. I said, absolutely. And I ended up training one of my friends in, and got her in the door. And, that's kind of where the journey continues to go. From there, I graduated dental hygiene school after 4 years or 3 years, and then started working on the job as a dental hygienist. A couple of years
Did you immediately go right back to neighborhood dental then, or?
They promised me a job when I was done, and they've always been loyal to me, and I've been loyal to them, and so came back and worked for neighborhood dental. I even helped out during the summers when I was in college and school. I drove back and forth to Vermilion every day. We had an apartment here in T, and my daughters and I at that time lived together, and my significant other, and we just said, hey, we're going to do this. I know I won't have an income, but drive 45 minutes, 50 minutes to Vermilion every day, and let's do it. So
that's an amazing grit story right there.
Yeah, it is. And, I know it's a kind of a non-traditional pathway, but if I didn't do it, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And as we kept growing and had multiple offices and locations, they realized that we're going to need some type of support structure to support all these locations. And I put my name in the hat, and I said, I would like to be considered for a hygiene coordinator type position, a leadership position. And I can help kind of build these protocols and systems and establish what we need moving forward in regards to our standard of care. And they said, go for it. Here's an office. Here's your computer. Make it what it's going to be. Of course, they were always supportive in giving input and guidance. But that was then. And soon then after that, worked as a hygiene coordinator for years. This is with Neighborhood Dental still, and then became clinical director. And so I just work alongside, all of our dental assistants, all of our dental hygienists, all of our dentists, really anything from a clinical aspect. And, it's just really, really something that I just could never think was possible back in the day.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, starting from probably kind of one of the ground, like I mentioned before, ground floor of the business to one of the most important aspects of the business.
Absolutely.
So, how many locations is Neighborhood Dental up to now? The
Yeah.
first one
So
was
we,
T, you said, correct?
yes, one of them's in T, but we have offices in South Dakota and Nebraska. So we're right at 11 offices,
Oh, wow.
locations.
That's amazing. That's a lot of growth in relatively not all that much time. So, yeah, that's amazing.
It is, and it's a fun thing to be part of because at the end of the day, patient care is our main objective. But you can't do that out of one location. I mean, you can, but you're limited, and you don't have the capacity to grow. So we said, hey, we really like our model. We believe it's serving the patient. Let's multiply that, and that was Nick and Mike's, dream from the beginning. And I was, like I said, able to be part of that, and so we're excited to grow.
Very cool. So, what are some of the biggest challenges in balancing that patient care with like quality and compliance? Because I'm sure you're getting all that kind of stuff thrown at you all at
Oh,
once too.
absolutely. I think it comes down to, and I keep going back to this, but it really is the core of any business. Your leadership and the people that you have within the offices who are carrying through those protocols. We establish these protocols, this quality, these standards and systems, but it's the people within the offices and the doctors that really believe in it and then carry it through to the patient. Uh, you know, we believe that yes, we're a business. Yes, we make money, but if you do it the right way, the rest will come. And so that's what we're finding is put the patient first in all of our decision making, make sure that all of our decision making is based upon our mission statement, which is saving patients pain, time, and money. And everything
Right.
should connect back to that. And if it does, then great. Let's keep moving forward.
Is there any real specific ways that neighborhood dental is going about that might be different than other dentist office?
I feel we set ourselves apart because we really stay advanced with our technology. Some of the things we did maybe over 10 years ago now was, invest in technology so we could provide more efficient care for our patients. Example of that would be our same day crown machines. We have those installed. These are not cheap units, over
No.
$100,000 per unit, in each location that has to have one. But patients are now able to get, a restoration crown in one day versus having to come back for multiple appointments. We know life's busy, right? So
Hmm.
if we can provide that to a patient when they're there in the chair, why not?
Is there anything you guys are doing specifically around kind of the, people have a fear of dentists, right?
Hmm.
That might keep them out from coming in and seeing you guys. Is there anything centered around that you guys are focusing on?
It is, the reality of it is most people don't like to come to the dentist. We understand that, right? And, if they came in the door, then we got to make sure that we're serving them to the best of our ability. And that's every single one of our roles. So we really ensure that every role has a heightened awareness of that. We also have a comfort menu, which is something that we provide to patients on, when they come in, that they can take a look at, and it gives them options on what can maybe make their appointment and put them more at ease, right?
Hmm.
And really just making sure they know that they're part of our dental family and we're here to treat them as a patient, and making sure they know that we're here for them all around from the beginning they walk in the door to the moment they leave.
Awesome. So what's ahead for you personally and also neighborhood dental? Is there anything kind of immediately coming up or in the next year or so that you're excited about?
For neighborhood dental, I feel like we're just continually growing. On the horizon, maybe there's more locations. I know that our owners are continually finding those that maybe align with our goals. So that's what I'm excited about. Just the people that we add to our teams. We couldn't do it without them, our dentists, but from a professional level, I just get excited about, like I said, I mean, what's to come. We don't quite know, right? But we've been through almost everything up until this point, so it's nothing we can't handle, and that's what
Yep.
excites me. So, from a personal perspective, gosh, I just sent my oldest off to college, so this is a been a tough couple months for me, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Just because she's always been there with me, and us through the stages, and we've grown up together. But it kind of felt, while it was sad, and while I had many mixed emotions, it was almost kind of like a weight lifted off me, because it was like, I think we did it. We made it through these years, right? You're going to college. I'm very proud of you. So we have our one daughter at home still. She's going to be, she is an eighth grader. And, I'm just excited about life. I really am. Every single day I get excited up. I'm excited. I choose to make it a good day. And yeah, what's in store, I don't know. And at this point, I don't care, because I know I'm happy. And as long as that's there, then that's what matters.
Gonna say, yeah, I think that's a good for your getting to know your personality here a little bit. I think the excitement is kind of in the unknown because you're ready to tackle whatever's thrown at you.
Yes.
Your oldest daughter, is she staying in state or did she go out of state for college?
She went to Vermilion, University of South Dakota.
Followed her
Right now,
mom's footsteps.
yeah. Right now she's on the pre-dental track. So, and that could change, but she's been really influenced in visiting some of our doctors and locations. And so we'll see if she stays on that path, but she's very focused, and, has a great head on her shoulders. So she can do anything she puts her mind to.
Amazing. All right. Well, I've got a set of some rapid fire questions here if you're ready. You don't need to think too hard on them, and
Let's
you can
do
give me
it.
as long or short of answers as you want here. Let's start with the fun one. What's a dream vacation destination for you?
Ooh, Thailand.
Ooh, is there a specific reason for Thailand?
I hear they have a lot of monkeys, and I just, and beautiful scenery. And I don't know what it is about that area. I just want to go.
Very cool. More on the business side of things, what's one leadership principle that you rely on every day?
Oh goodness. If I had to pick one, I would say, leadership is less about the spotlight and more about turning the light on for others. That's something that, I've learned over my journey is, let's build bigger staircases so we can all walk up them together, and just make one another shine a little brighter.
Great. Is there a book or resource that's influenced your leadership style?
Oh, yes. The Energy Bus by John Gordon. I recommend that to anybody. And we've actually had all of our office managers read it. When I meet with people that need a little bit of advice or coaching, even outside neighborhood dental, I recommend that book to them. I would highly recommend that book to anybody that crosses my path. It's just a wonderful leadership and inspirational, resource.
I'll have to add that one to my list.
Yeah.
How about, is there a hobby or interest people might be surprised to learn that you enjoy?
I love cycling. So spinning, some people call it spinning, but just biking. I really enjoy that, and doing my cycling classes. It helps with stress. I have a great friend that I get to do it with. She introduced me to it years ago, and it's just fun.
Do you do the Sioux Falls bike pass quite a bit, or are you one of
No,
those who
I go to
doesn't like that?
Revolution. It's
Yeah, okay.
it's
Okay, so
in Sioux
actual
Falls.
stationary cycling.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah.
That gets intense, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I always say to people, if you think it's easy, just come join the class once, and then tell me how you feel afterwards.
I'm always ashamed to say, the sip and cycle, you can have
Yeah,
15 or whatever. I'm sore after doing that.
I've
So,
never done that, but it looks quite interesting.
it's yeah, it is. Usually the after the sip and cycle is the most interesting part.
Yeah.
And we'll wrap it up here with if you could give one piece of advice to someone kind of starting out their professional career, and maybe even specific, tailor it towards maybe a young mother who's looking to advance their career, what would you say there?
Hmm. Good question. I'm going to go back to the value of having a positive mindset, and knowing that tomorrow's a new day, and whatever you're going through right now is not going to define your future. And that's why I always say one day at a time. Sometimes people think positivity, is about ignoring things or putting on a fake face, right? But what I always say is positivity isn't ignoring reality. It's a mindset that you choose every day. And it's choosing to focus on what can be, not just what is. And you take it one day at a time. You put on put on your positive pants, whatever you want to call it, and choose that in your mind. And I'm telling you, you will get through life that way. And it's maybe the medicine that people are missing. So wake up every day and choose that positive mindset.
Tia, for anyone who wants to connect with you or learn more about you or what Neighborhood Dental is doing, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can shoot me an email. They can call me. I can get you my information and you can share it, whatever you'd like.
Yeah, we'll make sure we have all that in the episode description. And as far as Neighborhood Dental, if they're looking into either services or anything, where would you send them for that?
They can go to our website, neighborhooddentalcare.com. From there, you can fill out all the new patient paperwork online or get contact information for any of our locations. The biggest thing I want people to remember is, when you call, our goal is to get you in right away. So you're not waiting 2 weeks, you're not waiting 3 weeks. Our teams know we want to get you in that day or same day, if not the next, because patient care comes first.
Fantastic. Well, Tia, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story today. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thanks for reaching out to me.
Absolutely. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Know someone with serious grit and a great growth story? Send them our way at grittogrowthpodcast.com/guest.